And we're live,
Whoop,
baby.
whoop.
My name is the sensational Sam Housen, and this is Mr. Intimidating Tim. It's Tim. Oh my God. And we're back for another episode of our newly relaunched podcast. This is the STJ Wrestling Podcast.
You're damn right it is.
Oh my God. Josh, once again, killing it with his studies. He is our young college Cub reporter.
Such a smart boy.
Such an Ivy League educated gentleman. I assume. I don't know what he does.
For sure.
Yeah. He goes to Yale.
I think he's at Oxford, actually.
Whoa. Fucking England?
Over in the UK.
Across the pond? Oh, man.
Ollie.
It's Tuesday, isn't it? Oh my God, we are recording this on a Tuesday. That's crazy. Diabolical.
Oh my God.
Even.
That's what I call a transition.
Boom. Speaking of transitions, it is a transitional period in the WWE at the moment because this episode, we're going to be talking about the post-WrestleMania releases.
That's very unfortunate, very sad.
Which is crazy. So before we start getting into the meat and potatoes of the episode, I'm just going to run down the list. People that were released in no particular order. We have Kairi Sane, Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, Uncle Howdy, aka Bo Dallas, Nikki Cross, Santos Escobar, the Motor City Machine Guns, Dexter Lumis, Apollo Crews, Rowan, Joe Gacy, Andre Chase, Zoe Stark, Alba Fire, Tyra May Steele, Serena Linton, Tyson, Tyreek, Chris Island, Malik Blade, Trill London, Luca Crucifino, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, JC Mateo, and Tonga Loa. So far, as of recording.
So far, yeah. Quite the list.
That's crazy.
I think the initial reporting came in on Friday of a lot of these names. And then
yes,
I think New Day and part of the Bloodline guys were announced, I think like Saturday or Sunday, I want to say.
Yeah, here's what's crazy. May 9th is Backlash, the next WWE Premium Live event. Do you know who debuted at last year's Backlash?
Was it Tonga Loa?
It was JC Mateo.
Oh.
He got released before this year's Backlash. On a technicality, he did not make it a full year in the WWE.
Oof.
Which, how do you fumble Jeff Cobb that hard?
That's unfortunate.
So we're talking about it. So let's just say the theme of today's episode is talking about memorable moments inside and outside of the WWE for some of the released talent. Mm-hmm. Now, to be fully transparent, there are a couple names on this list where I don't think I've seen a single match from them.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of the developmental guys. So like NXT, maybe Evolve, maybe LFG.
Yes. So I don't know who Trill London is. Mm-hmm. Luca Crucifino, I know from being the consigliere of the family with Tony D'Angelo.
Okay.
I said Trill London. I don't know who that is. Malik Blade, I kind of remember from some NXT stuff. He was in the Dusty Tag Classic one year with Idris Enofe, I believe is the other guy's name. I don't know who Chris Island is.
No. Fantastic name, though.
That's really good. I don't know who Serena Linton is.
Yeah.
And I only know who Tyra May Steele is because she lost a match to a woman on Evolve on this week's episode because the woman was going to NXT and it was like her leaving Evolve match. She also, Tyra May Steele, is an Olympian and won the first season of LFG.
Dang, and they cut her? That sucks.
And she got cut.
Yeah. Looks like Tyreek and Tyson were also developmental. And then Andre Chase, I think, was also NXT for a while. He was with Chase U.
For NXT people released, it's Luca, Malik, Tyson Tyreek, Andre Chase, Yeah, those are
Yeah.
the NXT people.
Yeah.
Andre Chase is kind of crazy because I don't think he ever really got utilized to his full potential with Chase U.
Right. I remember like a bit about their like little group, and it was pretty interesting. I feel like they had a storyline where there was like financial like a uh
Yeah,
what's the word I'm
hardship.
thinking
And
of?
then there was like
Yeah.
that
And it kind of
mystery benefactor. I don't think that went anywhere.
yeah. And I feel like it was kind of mirroring some kind of like college scandal at the time. Like
Yeah.
maybe like a play on that.
I
That,
remember
that was interesting.
Andre Chase, I believe, is a 2-time NXT tag champ.
Yeah. Yep.
He held it once
Right.
with Duke Hudson and once with Ridge Holland.
Hmm.
So that's kind of cool. Um,
Is Thea Hale still in? Like, is Chase U even a thing anymore?
no, because last I
Okay.
remember them being on TV, Uriah Connors, who is the brother of David Finlay in AEW,
Oh yeah,
was in Chase U, and he turned on him to join the Birthright.
gotcha.
Because him and David are the sons of like Finlay, who you
Yeah.
would remember as Finlay and Hornswoggle Finlay.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that's their papa.
We we saw one of like we saw someone in that family when we saw the New Japan show in
Yes, we
Jersey, right?
watched David Finlay's last match as a New Japan wrestler.
That's
He
right.
did he defeat Fred Rosser or did he lose? He wrestled Fred Rosser, formerly Darren Young of the Primetime Players.
Oh yeah. But did he
It was
win?
like his
I have
go
it in
home
my notes.
match. Remember, he took the mic to like
He did
potentially
win.
thank us. Okay,
Yeah,
he did
he
win.
beat Fred
Cool.
Rosser. Yeah.
He grabbed the mic to be like, "Hey, thank you, fans," but then he just dropped it and flipped us all off and
Yeah.
left. And then
And then
up
he
on the
pointed.
stage was Yuta Ice and Oscar, the Knockout Brothers, also members of the Bullet Club.
There you go.
But yeah, crazy release season. What
Yeah.
I think the big one for me, New Day is gone.
Yeah, like out of the big like main roster releases, like they've been like through and over a decade, right?
Kofi
Maybe
Kingston
two.
debuted in WWE 18 years ago.
That's nuts.
I
I
was
remember
12 years old.
you had like Bootio shirt. Like, did you have the cereal at some point?
I had a box of the cereal.
Yeah,
I had a Bootio's t-shirt. I had the Pancake Power one. I have a
yeah.
Bootio's Christmas ornament I put on my tree every year.
I just associate like that like era of them like so fondly with you and like watching SummerSlam and WrestleMania.
Hell yeah.
Favorite place growing up.
Dude, New Day was big. They like
Yeah.
I loved New Day. They had, you can fact check me if you want, co-host or people that listen. I think New Day holds the record for longest tag team title reign in history. Like they broke Demolition's record by a couple of days, and
They looks like you are correct. They set the record for the longest tag title reign at 483 days.
they beat Demolition's record by a few days, and people were annoyed when New Day lost the belts because it was like only like 1 or 2 days past Demolition's record, and they retained it at a pay-per-view like shortly beforehand to lose it on a random episode of Monday Night Raw. And they were like, "Oh, they just did that to fuck over Demolition," like
Oh,
kind of thing. Um,
yeah.
but we want to talk about favorite moments of these wrestlers. So I
Yes.
think my two big ones for the New Day as individuals, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods.
Mhm.
I remember watching on Spike TV, which was quote unquote a channel for the guys back in the day.
Damn right.
Um, TNA Impact used to air on Spike. This was back in the days of the 6-sided ring.
Yeah, so unique.
Um, there was a wrestler by the name of Consequences Creed, and that was who we now know as Xavier Woods.
Mhm.
He debuted and he had like red, white, and blue trunks, and it was kind of like an Apollo Creed character from Rocky.
Mhm.
And he used to team with Jay Lethal, and their tag team was called Lethal Consequences because he was Consequences Creed. One of my favorite matches he ever participated in TNA was something called the X Division Escape match.
Mhm.
And what that was it would be all of the X Division wrestlers, which X Division was billed as it doesn't have a weight limit, it has no limits. But it was traditionally like guys you would consider cruiserweight high flyers, like the smaller guys, like 205 Live, cruiserweight classic kind of guys.
Right.
So what the X Division escape match was they would all be in the ring, and this like structure would come down around the ring. And it was like a big steel cage. It was 6-sided because it was a 6-sided ring back in the day. And the top of it was domed, kind of like an elimination chamber. And there was a single hole in the top of it. And to win the match, you had to climb out the little hole.
Escape the little hole at the top.
Yeah, you had to just escape this structure. And usually the title was on the line. If I remember correctly, it was a big part of the TNA pay-per-view Lockdown. And what Lockdown was every single match took place inside of a steel cage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it was called Lockdown. Before the show started, the cage would come down. And then I think they wanted to cut costs on a crew or a pulley system to lower and raise the cage. So it just stayed up the whole night.
Right.
And then the main event was something called the Lethal Lockdown, which was like a War Games match. So it'd be 2 teams, and it would be an open top steel cage. But then when every guy entered, a ceiling would come down, and it was just covered in weapons.
So many weapons.
It was really cool. Lethal Lockdown, or Lockdown, was one of my favorite pay-per-views growing up because it was one of the first ones my dad bought for me when I was starting to get into wrestling.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
When we were still at St. Rita's together. Yeah.
Throwback.
And then like Up, Down, Down was really cool. His YouTube channel.
That's what I like remember most fondly, because like that, I feel like there's nothing really like that at its time, like kind of having everyone come together and like him being able to kind of do his own thing while still like under like WJP control, which like in the mid 2010s I feel like was way more restrictive about that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and like they own the channel, so they have the rights to all of his old stuff.
That's great. Good move.
Yeah. There were rumors that they were going to bring Xavier Woods back under contract, not as a wrestler, but as like a gaming host for the YouTube channel. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like this guy won King of the Ring.
That's right.
Remember that? A lot of
That's
people
right,
don't.
Yeah.
When that was a pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia. Did he beat Finn Balor to win?
Oh, let me look it up.
I swear to God, that's who he beat to become King of the Ring. That was before they got the title matches.
King of the Ring 2021. Looks like, yeah, he beat Finn Balor.
Oh, wow.
And he was King Woods.
Very briefly. And then Zelina Vega won the Queen of the Ring that year. She was also one of the released. And that led to her and Carmella being women's tag champions.
Ah.
But real quick, we'll talk about Kofi while we're here before we move on from the New Day. I think for me, I have like a top 3 of Kofi Kingston moments. Kofi Kingston, I remember him debuting on ECW on Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh, yeah.
And when he first was getting advertised, he was like Kofi Kingston from Kingston, Jamaica, and he had like a fake Jamaican accent.
He had a fake Jamaican accent, that's right.
And he had like Jamaican flag, ring trunks, and all that stuff. I don't remember who he fought in his debut, but can you fact check me, Mr. Wizard? I believe it was Paul Burchill.
This is in his debut in
his
ECW?
First ever match in WWE. I believe he fought Paul Burchill, the wrestling pirate.
His first ECW match occurred in 2008, ECW on Sci-Fi. He defeated local competitor David Owen.
Damn it. Okay, it was a local. I remember pretty quickly he fought Paul Burchill because we were talking about Kofi getting released at work today. Me and one of my new coworkers, Cameron, and we were talking about like the WWE ECW sci-fi era and like the new breed versus the old school and all that stuff.
Right.
Another big moment for me was, do you remember when he went to Monday Night Raw, Kofi Kingston? He dropped the accent and he was feuding with
Yes.
Randy Orton.
Yeah. And like it was either Randy or Triple H or someone, but they were like, "Wait a second, are you supposed to be Jamaican?"
Yes.
Oh, that was hilarious.
A big moment from early day Kofi on Monday Night Raw. He was feuding with Randy Orton. Randy Orton got presented with a custom wrapped NASCAR,
Oh wow.
and Kofi destroyed it backstage. He covered it with orange paint and smashed it up with a crowbar.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I remember that. And then there was like some kind of time machine thing that happened one time. And when Kofi went through it, he came back out talking with the accent. And then Big E and
Sure.
Xavier were like, nope, you got to go back through. You can't do that. Can't be doing that. Can't do that.
Yeah,
But,
sure, why not?
and I think our final moment is a shared one. So I'll let you take, well, my final moment is a shared
Oh
one
yeah.
with you. So I'll let you
Yeah.
take that, buddy.
Oh yeah, WrestleMania 35 2019, I think it was. I think it was the last like non double night WrestleMania, so I guess the last like single night WrestleMania.
I believe
So
so.
it was right before the COVID ones. And he won the WWE Championship. Um, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on who it was against.
Bryan Danielson, and it was the vegan title belt.
Ah, that's right. The like the brown looking wood one.
It was like burlap and puka shells.
Mhm.
It was very surfer looking.
Yeah. But like he had the rest of the New Day at ringside. Uh, like the crowd was like fully behind it. Like everyone was just really happy, really excited to see it finally come to fruition, finally happen.
Yeah, Kofi Mania was crazy.
Yeah.
It is a damn shame it got ended by Brock Lesnar.
And like a squash, right?
Yeah, on WWE SmackDown's debut on Fox,
Oof.
because Fox wanted the title on someone big,
Yeah.
and I think Lesnar hit one F5 and then pinned him.
Yeah, it was insane.
The two
uh,
members of the New Day that were WWE champion, Kofi and Big E, both of their title reigns ended to Brock Lesnar.
wow.
Yep.
Huh. That's pretty crazy.
Do you have a favorite New Day like moment, or would you say yours is like Bootios and that phenomenon?
Yeah, probably that. I just have good like childhood memories of seeing all their merch and stuff like that,
Hell
and
yeah! I think
like
a
yeah.
big one for me is that Hell in a Cell match against the Usos for the tag titles.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then they used like a gong and Francesca the trombone as weapons in the match.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was
I
a
was
really
like
good
I
match.
was like them throwing out like waffles and pancakes.
Oh yeah, that was good. I like New Day. It's just kind of bizarre that they're gone.
It is.
Um,
It was also
I think.
unfortunate. Like I feel like their recent like heel turn had so much potential to be better if Big E was healthy and like was able to compete. But like as exciting as it was when it happened, it just kind of fell flat and they didn't really do a whole lot. But I will say, whenever they were like on the mic as like heel co-commentators, f- hilarious, like so funny, like the stuff
Oh
they were
my god,
saying.
yeah.
Like whenever it would be on and Taylor would hear it from the other room, she was like, "This is so much fun to just listen to."
Do you remember the really big hat Xavier Woods was wearing? The
Oh
like
my
the last
god,
time he was on
yes,
TV, the
yes,
like funeral hat, because
iconic.
they was that when they lost the tag titles?
Yeah, so then
Yeah,
he was in mourning.
yeah, because the tag title reign ended. We'll miss you, New Day.
Yeah,
If they end up anywhere else, I sure hope it's AEW because we'll finally get the Young Bucks versus the New Day.
I know they've been wanting to battle each other for so long. They could have so many good battles or matches.
Oh, like a best of seven, Young Bucks, New Day, winner becomes number one contender.
Yeah, like that, but also like there are just so many good tag teams in AEW that New Day could face off against. That would just be like fantastic to see.
That would be awesome. Like
Yeah.
even New Day versus like FTR or whoever comes out tag champs after Double or Nothing,
Yeah.
FTR or Cope and Christian. Like that would be generational. Like Cope and Christian versus New Day.
Oh my gosh, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll miss you, New Day. If you show up in AEW, that would be sick. Pursue other ventures, that would also be sick. You do you. I would like it a lot better if Big E was still wrestling and we got a trios match, reunited Young Bucks and Kenny versus New Day.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Pretty sick. But hey, since we mentioned her name in this segment, you want to do Zelina Vega next?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Boom, baby.
So
I think a big one.
she had been on the roster for a while, I think, right?
She was in NXT and she was the manager for Andrade
Oh, okay.
during his feud with Aleister Black for the NXT title.
I did not know that. That's pretty sick.
And then I feel like she also briefly managed Santos Escobar and his crew.
Mm-hmm.
But I could be
And
really wrong. I remember her
hey,
main roster big moments for me were really her winning the tag belts with Carmella after becoming Queen of the Ring,
mm-hmm.
Queen Zelina. And then, although it was very brief and kind of pointless, her United States title run because she got to bring the belt to the 9/11 memorial and show it to her dad, who his
Oh,
name is on the plaque there.
yeah.
He
Oh,
passed during the events of 9/11.
yeah. That's special. I really, really, really liked her match against Rhea Ripley for the women's belt at Backlash in Puerto Rico.
That was such a good
Um,
show. Oh my
just because
god.
like I don't want to assume that it was a hometown show. No, because she's from New York. But just the crowd there like had such a positive reaction, like seeing her, and that whole crowd for that entire show was just like
Oh, top to
unrivaled.
bottom, like start to finish, they were crazy.
Unrivaled.
Part of me
um,
kind of hates that they made because the first Backlash, like back as a pay per view,
yeah,
not WrestleMania Backlash, was Puerto Rico,
yeah,
and then the next year it was France,
right.
and then it went to St. Louis.
Yeah. So it's
Like,
like, what's going on here?
and then this year's is in Tampa. Who cares? Backlash was
That-
way. Oh, the international crowds,
Oh, they're
Sans,
always
Saudi Arabia, are
yes.
way better.
They always bring their A game.
I think it's mostly because it's still like a little treat, you
Yeah.
know? Like
Well,
US crowds, like if there's a show, I live in Connecticut. So there's a show in Jersey, Massachusetts, New York, I can still go to it. I don't have to go that far. It's like an hour or two,
yeah.
you
Right.
know? Overseas ones, like one could show up in like London. If you live like a plane ride or a different country over there, I assume it's harder to get to. So if it comes to your like spot,
Yeah.
like that upcoming one, Clash in Italy, I feel like the crowd's going to be really good for that.
Yeah. It's like a big deal. Like you never know when you're gonna get it again, so you go all out.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
But her versus Rhea at Backlash Puerto Rico.
Yeah. That was just such a good pay-per-view or PLE, whatever the hell they're
I
calling
don't remember if they were still pay per views at that point, but that was a really good show. Main
it. Yeah.
event: Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. Hell yeah,
Ooh, phenomenal. Love it, love it, love it.
you'll love to see it, folks. Well,
Um all right, who do you want to talk about next? We could keep talking about tag teams. There's a few others. Motor City Machine Guns.
yes, let's do the Motor City Machine Guns, please.
Yes. My favorite match of theirs was for some reason this was just on a random SmackDown, you know, just for free on TV if you have TV. But it was a six-pack TLC tag team title match with them and DIY and the Street Profits. And I am sure you remember this one because it was insane just to have this on a SmackDown. I feel like it may have been a SmackDown before like like a PLE
It
event.
was one right before a PLE, and we're like, that match should be on the PLE. Was it
Yeah,
WrestleMania last year?
it It might
I
have
feel
been. It
like
was
it was.
April. It was April 25th, 2025.
That's the weekend after WrestleMania. Because last year WrestleMania was on 420 and Easter.
That's right.
Did I ever tell you my story about being at my friend's on 420 to watch WrestleMania?
Was it crazy?
Well, yes, but
Yeah.
you've met Kyle. Kyle hosted.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone went outside to smoke, and I was like, I drove. I'm not gonna partake
Sure.
because I still couldn't eat foods at that point. So there's like nothing I could do to like get it out of my system.
That's right. Yeah.
So everyone went outside to smoke, and I'm alone in the room when the tag title match, New Day and the War Raiders, kicks off. I'm the only person in the room when the War Raiders, for some reason, come out dressed as Clash of Clans. And then everyone was so fucking high they didn't believe me. No one Googled it. No one looked it up. Anywho.
Oh man.
Motor City Machine Guns, take it away.
Yeah, so it was the SmackDown after WrestleMania, and it was like most TLC matches are, a complete car crash from start to finish. Just so much insanity, so many insane spots. Um, One thing that stands out that I remember, just without even having to look it up to remind myself of it, I think it may have been one of the guys from the Street Profits, may have been Montez, grabbed a prosthetic leg from someone in the audience and started
Yes,
using it as a weapon. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
So insane.
Oh my god, the prosthetic leg.
Let me see if I can find more information
So,
about this here.
Motor City Machine Guns were very briefly in the WWE.
Yes.
I remember shortly after they debuted, they defeated the MFTs to win the tag belts on a random episode of SmackDown.
Right.
And one match that led to that moment you're talking about was at the WrestleMania you and Taylor hosted at your apartment before you moved out of New Jersey.
Oh yeah, or the Royal Rumble.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Royal Rumble, the Indianapolis.
Yes.
It was a 2 out of 3 falls match, Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY. Street Profits returned as heels and attacked everyone after the match. And that's what led to that TLC match you remember so fondly.
I love it.
I don't think this needs to be stated, but I've been watching wrestling a lot longer than you have.
That is a well-known fact, I hope, at this point.
So I used to watch Motor City Machine Guns back in the days of early TNA, the 6-sided ring.
That we mentioned earlier.
A couple things I remember. When they split up as a tag team, Chris Sabin went solo, and he won the X Division title. And they did a thing called Option C, where if the X Division champion remained undefeated for X amount of time, went through every challenger possible, and just kept winning, he could cash in the X Division title for a World Heavyweight title shot.
Oh.
And Chris Sabin cashed in, and I might be misremembering this, but I believe he challenged Bubba Ray Dudley for the world title. And he won.
Yo.
So Chris Sabin, I think he was a one-time TNA champ, maybe 2, but he took the belt off of Bully Ray. I remember that being pretty cool. And then
Yep.
the year before they debuted in WWE, Shelley and Sabin were back in TNA making appearances.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Shelley finally won the big one, and he became Impact World Champion.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him fighting Steve Macklin, and I remember him fighting Nick Aldis before he became the GM of SmackDown for the title. He defended against Nick Aldis at Slammiversary.
Wait, that's so cool.
Yeah. So that was really cool. I remember the Guns feuding a lot with Generation Me, which was my first exposure to the Young Bucks. That was their tag team name in TNA. They were Generation Me. And I don't think they were Matt and Nick. They were like, they had weird names, but their last name was Buck. I remember. The Guns were like a mainstay on TNA for a while. Came and went. I remember seeing them in Ring of Honor. They fought the Hardys. I remember them fighting the Wolves. Motor City Machine Guns have a special place in my heart because they were one of my favorite tag teams when I was first getting into wrestling. They used to have their little hand symbol where you
Yeah.
put the two fingers up on the palm, you hold it over your head, and then their entrance song when they were in TNA was just so good. I would just be running around in a yard just singing it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's sick.
Motor City, Motor City.
I think I was talking to Josh, because we had dinner with Taylor's family. So I was talking with Josh, and I don't know if he had sent this in or if he had mentioned it too, but with the duration for the no compete clause, after getting released from WWE, I think when that expires, AEW has a show in Detroit, maybe
Yes.
around that weekend. So
Yep.
that, the timing could be there. That's
It's
their
an episode of
hometown.
Dynamite. Because I remember they were supposed to be at All Out
That's so
to
cool.
team with Jay Lethal as a TNA reunion, and something happened where they couldn't do it anymore.
Hmm.
Not this year's All Out. It was a year or two ago. But it was going to be Jay Lethal and the Guns against Wardlow and FTR or something.
Yeah.
I forget who they replaced the Guns with, but yeah, Motor City Machine Guns will be dearly missed. If I feel like they're a given for AEW,
Hmm.
they could win the Ring of Honor tag belts off of LFI, Sammy Guevara and Mortos. I wouldn't mind if the Guns were Ring of Honor tag champs again. That'd be fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I love Tony Khan and I love AEW. I like the way he runs things a little better than WWE these days. I
Yeah.
think he needs to work a little more on Ring of Honor.
Yeah. Could
Bandito is
use
still
some
champion.
support.
No one has come close to dethroning Bandito. I forgot that Nick Wayne and Lee Moriarty held titles in that company.
Hmm.
And then I only remember that LFI was tag champs because I was like, I know Mordos is. Who's the other? But
Yeah.
I will miss the Machine Guns. I'm excited to see where they end up next. Some people were like, they'll go back to TNA. And I'm like, it's just WWE diet right now.
Right.
It's no other really thing.
Yeah. It's good to have healthy competition. It's not good to have monopolies.
You're
Yeah.
now.
Wow.
I want to talk very briefly about the two members of the MFTs that got released.
Mm-hmm. Was
They,
Tongaloa?
yep, and JC Mateo.
JC Mateo.
JC Mateo didn't even make it a full year in WWE. He debuted at last year's Backlash in St. Louis and got released before this year's Backlash in Tampa,
Very
which is
unfortunate.
crazy. He only wrestled 4 televised matches in his WWE tenure. He's 3-1. He owns a victory over LA Knight.
Mm-hmm.
He owns a victory over R-Truth. He owns a victory over Jimmy Uso, and he also owns a loss from Jimmy Uso.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
He owns
How
that
do
loss.
you fumble JC Mateo that bad?
I wonder if it just has to do with issues with the bloodline, storyline, just kind of
I feel like
getting
it
stale.
because they just shoehorned him in there. Not even
Yeah.
related. Just kind of looks like them, sort of, if you close your eyes.
Yeah, and it was already getting so crowded. I'm glad that um oh my gosh, now I'm blanking on the Samoan werewolf.
Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, I'm glad Jacob Fatu kind of split, factored out of them, because now he's got single stuff going on, and look at that, he's got a match against Roman at Backlash.
I know he won't, but I want him to win on Saturday.
That'd be kind of dope. I like
That'd be so fucking cool.
I like his angle that he's coming at with it, where he's you're so rich, you have generational wealth, and I'm out here fighting for my family, fighting for my kids. I want what you have. I don't care that we're family. I want that.
And then he brought
It was
back the
good.
fucking Tongan death grip.
Yeah, they were hammering that home.
Because I think that was his. I think his father is the Tongan kid, and that was his finisher. I believe. I'll do that. I'll do that. Google.
He'd be looking at it.
But I was gonna say JC Mateo. I know him as Jeff Cobb. I saw him on New Japan a lot.
Right.
Shout out to my friend Zach from college who got me into New Japan. He's also the one that told me Jeff Cobb was on Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Did you ever watch Lucha Underground back in the day?
I've seen like a few clips, like just like looking back retrospectively, but when it was live and airing, I did not.
Okay, so Lucha Underground back in the day was a wrestling program produced by Robert Rodriguez of Spy Kids fame for the El Rey Network. And it was a lot of exposure for luchadors, but they gave them original names. Like Santos Escobar was on Lucha Underground. He was a character named King Cuerno, the King of the Hunters. And then like Macias from AAA was on it as Mil Muertes. Phoenix and Penta were there. Vampiro and Matt Stryker did commentary. Chavo Guerrero, Ezekiel Jackson, Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, Swerve Strickland, all on it. John Morrison, Justin Gabriel from the Nexus.
Mm-hmm.
All of them appeared on Lucha Underground. But there was a character, an on-screen character, whose name was Dario Cueto. And he was like the on-screen like Vince McMahon, like Booker type.
Yes.
And he had a brother who was in prison. His brother's name was the Monster Matanza Cueto. And that was Jeff Cobb in a mask.
That's great.
Oh, he was so good. He did like Spanish flies and like backflip like Samoan drops, and his finisher tore the island and all that stuff.
Oh hell yeah.
So him on Lucha Underground was really cool. Jeff Cobb also owns a victory over Will Ospreay in Madison Square Garden. So
Yo, that's impressive.
how do you fumble that? TKO. And I Googled it. Jacob Fatu's father is the Tongan kid.
Ooh, we got live fact checking occurring tonight.
His name is Sam Fatu.
Oh.
That's my name, kind of.
So for Tongaloa, I feel really bad saying this, but the thing I remember him most was that every time he would botch, there would be so many memes and just so much people talking about him. Like, I feel kind of bad, but it was also really funny.
Oh, this guy's dog water.
The one that I remember most was at Money in the Bank, I think 2024. Kevin Owens was like doing something against Tamatanga, and Tongaloa came in and tried to give a tried to punch KO like in the nuts, like give him a cheap shot. Accidentally ended up punching Tamatanga in the head. So then he had to redo the cheap shot to actually get Kevin Owens. Just watching it back, it's so funny. Just going in there and just punching the shit out of his brother, quote unquote.
Right on the top of the head.
So funny. Oh my god. I feel bad laughing, but I can't help it.
Tongaloa was like, right? All their names are so similar. Tongaloa, Tamatanga, Talatanga.
It's
Tongaloa.
It's a lot.
Was in WWE prior.
Oh.
Do you remember Sin Cara?
Yeah.
And then there was the evil Sin Cara.
Yes. And
then
since they're all masked, it was easy to. Since Sin Cara was masked, it was easier for them to like swap out.
Oh yeah, Sin Cara proper had the blue and gold mask. Evil Sin Cara had a red and black mask.
Right.
Evil Sin Cara unmasked. He was a character named Unico.
Oh.
Unico had a partner named Camacho. That was Tongaloa.
Oh.
And this guy sucked. Even back then. He also original Sin Cara was Mystico, like from AEW.
Right.
Was recently 1/3 of the trios champs.
Okay.
Yeah, he was original Sin Cara, but he kept getting injured and then went back to Mexico and really honed his skills. Tongaloa was Camacho in WWE. He was on like Black and Gold NXT when it was a Hulu exclusive.
Oh.
So that was like 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
And then when he got released the first time, he went to TNA and was in a faction with Eli Drake, and his name was Micah.
Mhm.
He was not good. Eli Drake is LA Knight. But if you go on the alumni section of WWE, it has Camacho and Tongaloa as two different people, but you can tell they're the same people.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite botches he did was not entering on time when he debuted 2 backlashes ago.
That's right.
Yep. That was great. He missed his cue to roll out from under the ring, so the referee had to pull himself out of the ring to not count the pinfall. And then he's supposed to have a towel draped over his head for an air of mystery. He just forgot. Like Solo Sikoa's towel that he comes out with sometimes. Like one of those. It's like, this is already off to a rough start. Remember being really excited that the Guerrillas of Destiny were finally in the WWE, and then it faded really quick.
Yeah.
But hey, that's the MFTs. So who's the group now? Solo Sikoa, Tamatanga, and Talatonga?
I think so. I think it's just
them?
3 of them. Yeah.
Then Tamatanga might split off because he's been talking to Shinsuke. I don't know.
Oh. Yeah. I
That's
don't know
another one.
to do too much with
Hey,
SmackDown.
I just remembered something.
Yeah.
I have a favorite Apollo Crews match.
Ooh. Yeah. What do you got?
I think you know what I'm going to say. It'll bring you great joy when I bring up the memory of the Nigerian drum fight.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. That was it. The first WrestleMania back with crowds after COVID. So WrestleMania
38.
31, 38. Whatever one was in Tampa. And it was
Okay.
like the
Yeah.
Buccaneers themed. Like it was pirate ship.
Yeah.
It was the first one back with crowds after COVID, and then it almost got rained out because there was like a hurricane pulling through.
That's right. It got super delayed.
Samoa Joe did commentary in the clear rain poncho.
Yeah.
It got brought up in his feud with Sturf Strickland. Yeah, they announced that fight, and then you and I were like, "What the fuck is this gonna be?" And then they were like, "A clash that is so loud it mimics the beating of Nigerian drums of war." I was like, "It's just a no DQ." Okay. And then that's all it ended up being. And that was also the WrestleMania that had Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman in a steel cage. Bobby Lashley won the WWE title off of Drew McIntyre at that WrestleMania.
It looks
Remember
like
that?
Yeah. That was like the first match of the night.
That was the opener. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
First match back with crowds. That's crazy. But yeah, Nigerian drum fight. That was super cool. Apollo Crews versus Big E for the
And
Intercontinental title.
Big E was the champion.
And then Apollo won, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and then I remember him being US champ during COVID and feuding with the Hurt Syndicate. Remember that? Or Hurt Business. Hurt Syndicate is AW.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted. This rap shit is for real. Does DMX.
Hell yeah.
Rest in peace. Yeah, I think that's my only memory of Apollo Crews. I remember writing a tweet, one of the only tweets I've ever tweeted after that match, and I was like, wow, Apollo Crews has the charisma of a fucking doorknob. I remember seeing him briefly on Ring of Honor before he signed with the company, and his independent wrestling name was Uha Nation. So, I think he will start taking bookings again as Uha Nation. I heard rumors because they got released on what, the Monday after WrestleMania, the Friday night
Yeah.
beforehand. They had him backstage at SmackDown doing a photo shoot and promos with a fully new like look and character.
Ah,
I don't know if that's necessarily true, but that was a rumor I heard. So
yeah.
that's crazy. Big if true.
All right. Who do we have? Oh, this is a bunch of people from a favorite group of yours got released. A bunch
I
of people from
know.
the Wyatt Six. Was it the entire faction pretty much?
Entire faction got released.
That is crazy. They was it last year? They literally had like a Halloween Horror Nights like building, or was that 2 years
Yep, they
ago?
had a house at this year's Halloween Horror Nights, like 2025.
Yeah. Oh
The
man.
Horrors of the Wyatt Six.
Yeah.
So Wyatt
That
Six is, of
sucks.
course, Uncle Howdy, aka Bo Dallas, the real life brother of the legend, may he rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. Bo Dallas is released. Rowan, former member of the Wyatt family, released. Dexter Loomis, Joe Gacy, Nikki Cross, all 5 members of the 6 got released, which is insane.
Yeah. Because I also feel like they had such a like interesting, like kind of drawn out introduction when they were bringing them all in. Like, do you remember like all the videotapes that
Yes,
like Michael Cole would be getting, and like they were just like building towards this for
and
like
the
such a
tweets
long time.
about the
Yeah,
White Rabbit or the Follow the Rabbit and like all that stuff, and then their
yeah,
debut on Raw was like one extended shot, this cool tracking, like cinematic, beautiful thing. And then they were gone for like 3 months because Howdy got injured.
yeah,
I don't think
and like
Bo Dallas wrestled like once as Uncle Howdy. Maybe on the street fight the Friday before they got released.
yeah, like
I
they weren't
remember
utilized like at all
at
for
all.
like
They won the tag belts randomly. I
yeah,
remember that.
yeah,
Like Gacy and Loomis had it. There was that really good ladder match at SummerSlam.
yeah.
I think
Did Nick?
only 4 people in that match are still with the company. 5, no, 5. Nathan Frazier, Axiom, the Street Profits, and Johnny Gargano.
Whoa,
Everyone else in that match has been released
that's crazy.
because it was Andrade and Phoenix,
Yeah,
AC and Loomis, Tommaso Ciampa. I think that was,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Then the other 5, one half of
And
DIY Gargano, both Street Profits, Nathan Frazier, and Axiom, still with the company. So 50%
yeah,
of that match no longer works for the company.
that's nuts.
Um,
And did Nikki Cross ever like have a lot of matches or traction with them? Like, did they
with the
really give
Wyatt
her?
Six,
Yeah, did they really give her
no.
anything to do?
She just kind of crashed through people during their
Yeah,
multi-man matches. Well, because Nikki Cross, former tag champ and women's champ,
yeah,
she briefly was women's world champion when she was Nikki almost superhero.
hmm,
And then she was tag champs with Alexa Bliss, I believe.
that's right.
Um, but yeah, man, it's wild that the entire Wyatt Six is gone.
Yeah,
Um, I think one of my favorite Wyatt Six matches, aside from that table match, the TLC ladder thing at SummerSlam, made a match in AAA. I believe it was a 6-man tag. It might have been 8-man, but it was Wyatt
right.
Six versus Murder Circus on AAA.
Hmm.
So it was like a funhouse, like street fight. They fought in a carnival. It was Gacy, Loomis, Rowan,
Hmm.
maybe Howdy, and then Psycho Clown, Pagano, Dave the Clown, and Murder Clown. Yeah, it was 4-on-4, and they were still
Okay.
tag champs during that match because then like a week or two later they lost the belts to the MFTs, and not even the guys who are the tag team. It was Tama and Solo, and then they dropped the belts to Priest and R-Truth for
Gotcha.
some fucking reason. Anyway,
uh,
um, I do have some moments for the individual members that I quite liked.
Sure, yeah. I know you really liked this group, and
I was a huge Wyatt's like family fan. So when
yeah,
the Wyatt 6 debuted, I was like, holy shit,
yeah.
that's
Like,
so
especially
cool.
like I feel like we did like a whole episode just for Bray when he
We
passed
did.
away.
We did a Bray Wyatt
Yeah,
tribute episode.
yeah. So
Um,
I know how much they mean to you.
friggin' for Rowan, I don't remember the pay-per-view, but him and Luke Harper briefly teamed as the Bludgeon Brothers. They beat Roman Reigns on a PLE in a tag match. That was pretty cool.
Hmm.
I'm gonna look it up. Um, where is it? Beat Roman Reigns. Oh, I'm sorry. It was a singles match. Eric Rowan defeated Roman Reigns in a no disqualification match at Clash of Champions.
Oh,
Or yeah, is that what it is? Yes. And then that led to a match where Bryan Danielson and Roman teamed to fight the Bludgeon Brothers,
hmm,
which is wacky to say out loud.
wacky tobacco.
So Rowan defeating Roman at Clash of Champions was pretty up there. And then I remember Rowan being the muscle for Daniel Bryan at that point during the Kofi Mania vegan title belt thing. And he would always have really cool like metal band T-shirts on.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
let's see what else. Joe Gacy, I know mostly from his NXT stuff as part of the Schism. And then like Dexter Loomis, I remember seeing in TNA for a little bit as Sam Shaw, basically the same character. He was like an artist who was like a stalker, like serial killer type,
Yeah.
and he was just like cold and brutal in the ring, and he would like use a mandible claw as his finisher.
Yes.
Nikki
Yeah.
Cross winning the women's title would be pretty big. That was a cool moment for her. The character
She
was stupid. The
she
superhero,
cashed in
Money in the
like
Bank.
Money in the Bank. Yeah.
Yep. Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, like getting to be his brother's character. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. And then like his stuff as Bo Dallas, like former NXT champion, like Bo Leave and Bo, and then when he got kicked out of NXT, they turned Bo Leave into like Bo Leave, like get out of here. Like the first time they did
I
Bo
got you.
Leave, it was B Leave, but they switched the O, like the E out for the O.
Yeah.
And then he lost like a loser leaves match, so it was like LEAVE, like Bo Leave. They
Love it.
swapped the signs. I remember when he was one of the social outcasts, that faction. It was him, Adam Rose, Heath Slater, and Curtis Axel. I remember he debuted in a Royal Rumble for the main roster, and then
Oh,
nothing really
kind
happened
of like
with
it when that
him.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just weird that the six are gone. Like they had so much potential. It's very much wasted. I think that's really it for like the releases that I'm like, holy shit, these were big. Like Aleister Black coming and going again. I'm like, okay, because like
Yeah.
allegedly
He's
what he was saying, like had in
like
his
in and out,
AW
in and out.
contract.
Yeah.
So I'm like, am I really sad to see him go? I did see a funny tweet that the Wyatt Six, like someone was like, what companies could you see these wrestlers going to now that they've been released? Someone was like, oh, the Wyatt Six are 100% going to Juggalo Championship Wrestling.
There you go.
Like, that would be wild. I don't think they would do terrible in AEW. I think AEW needs kind of like a supernatural presence again. It's too
Yeah.
like Dark Order was cool. Like rest in peace, Brody Lee. And it's like I like when they do like the supernatural character, like an Undertaker or a Sting or whatever. It's like Wyatt Six, I think, could do good over there. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily need them to win titles. Like, I just need
It's
them
just
to
nice
like
to see them do
pummel
something.
folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I had seen someone talking about how a lot of the people who got cut were part of like supernatural-esque like storylines. Like the White
Mm-hmm.
Six, obviously, like Vega and
Aleister
Black.
Black.
Um, so like they were like putting a theory out there that maybe like TKO just doesn't like that sort of like gimmick,
I have
like
heard
the
that. I think
supernatural
they want
stuff.
to be more about the entertainment that isn't like alienating.
Yeah, which
Because not
sucks,
everyone likes spooky.
right? But I'm kind of like I hope that's not true because in NXT right now, um, they have um oh my gosh, what's her name?
Evil? Oh,
No,
Tatum Paxley.
yeah, Tatum Paxley, who has like supernatural gothy type vibes, and that would kind of suck if it also affects them there. I don't know.
Yeah, that would kind of suck.
Yeah,
I like Tatum. I'm glad she's finally like champion, and the reign's been pretty good.
yeah.
I thought you were gonna bring
Well
up
earned.
Evil returning.
No, you were very excited when that happened. You had texted
I was
us.
a big fan of Evil in New
Yeah.
Japan. He was the leader of the House of Torture. He was also tag team partners with Sonata, and someone was like, "Oh, Sonata is the Shawn Michaels. Evil was the Marty Jannetty." Like, oh, okay.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
but hey, I'm excited to see what he does. He literally just showed up. I do have some qualms about him immediately like showing up and challenging Tony D'Angelo. Completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if you watched it, but D'Angelo got a mysterious package, like a Japanese character on it.
Okay.
And he was like, "I wonder who this is from." And then he's talking to Keanu Carver. It's like, "Did you send this to me?" He's like, "Nah, man. But you gotta watch out because whoever sent you that symbol means war." And it ends up it's from Evil, who they never expressly called Evil on
Okay. I was
broadcast.
wondering.
They haven't said his name. They just referred to him as a former two-time IWGP champ. So it's cool they acknowledged the IWGP belt on NXT.
Yeah. That's pretty solid.
He just showed up and gave D'Angelo like a shirt and then like flipped his hood down and it was Evil standing there. And then Evil leaves. D'Angelo got attacked by Tavion Heights and then quote unquote a fan came out of the crowd and hit a moonsault on D'Angelo.
Yeah.
But it's this wrestler Will Cruz. I've seen him on TikTok. He's a British guy and he just does like these crazy like it's a pop-up jackhammer into a pile driver like moves to go viral on
That's
TikTok.
nuts.
And I didn't recognize him because he cut his hair. And I was like, hey, wait a minute. So like the three of them are establishing themselves as the new contenders for D'Angelo after everyone got moved up to the main roster. Like literally everyone
Yeah.
who's main eventing. But
Yeah.
Evil is just debuting. So if you're putting him in the title picture immediately, he wins. That makes D'Angelo's title reign look like a waste. If he loses, that squashes any momentum he has.
Right.
So I think he should have kept delivering those little packages to
Yeah.
anyone he saw as like a contender to fight him. They could have had him face Miles Bourne first and win the North American and then work his way up to Tony D'Angelo. Or didn't even have to challenge for a title. He could have just given one of those boxes to like Jasper Troy or Shiloh Hill, anyone that's like they're trying to make the new generation of NXT superstars.
Yeah.
Have them kind of be the first feud, like Evil and Shiloh. Then the big winner of that feud gets to move on to a title match eventually. Like, don't just make Evil show up and challenge Tony D'Angelo. That's stupid.
Yeah.
But anywho, I don't write for WWE.
You would do good there though.
Hey, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But hey, if you're good with that episode, I'm good with that episode.
I think we covered pretty much everyone. Apologies if we
Yeah.
missed, but I think we did good.
Spent maybe 10 minutes before recording trying to find a match that featured, what was it, Tyreek and the other guy? High Rise?
Tyreek and Tyson?
Yes.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I watched one of those like Friday night like special episodes of Impact that's like kind of a pay-per-view but not. And it was like them and Wes Lee in a 6-man, maybe against the Rascals. So that would have been Zach Wentz, oh God, Myron Reed and Trey Miguel before they all went to AEW, but now Trey Miguel is back in TNA.
Yeah.
And then they were also part of the NXT Invaders, if you remember that.
Vaguely.
It was like Lexus King, the two of them, Stax, and somebody else. I don't remember who the fifth was, but there was like a multi-man steel cage match that they were in, and it was like Steve Macklin, Matt Cardona, the Hardys. It was like all stars from TNA, and then like, oh, you five are around.
Yeah, pull you in.
I feel like they wrestled Santino, but I don't remember. Anywho, as always, that was fun talking wrestling with you, buddy.
Oh, always, always.
Hell yeah. Thank you for listening to the
Appreciate it.
STJ Wrestling Podcast.